Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of the SDL. This is your host and coach for the Montreal Mawiles, Darcy Way, and I'll be covering last week's match actually. As most of you probably know by now, we're in the fifth week actually of the SDL, and yes, I have already done my battle with my fifth week opponent. That is the Boston Celebes, otherwise known as the Kevin Kevins. I'll be uploading that match soon-ish, sometime after posting this one, sometime this week. And the reason I didn't upload was mostly just pure laziness on my part. I'm sorry about that. Um, so yeah, so it's been a bit of a while since we've had this battle, actually, but I'm still going to do the usual and explain what I brought, explain why I chose to bring the things I brought, and then we'll be covering the battle as per usual. So as we can see, the Bielefeld Bronzongs, that is Gentle Trainer, the founder of the founders team. So the Bielefeld Bronzongs have the Mew, Huron Black, Ferrothorn, Conkeldurr, Arcanine, Megaseptile, Golbat, Sigilyph, Granbull, Kabutops, and Gardevoir, and the Lantern on their team. So two things of note that I believe should be underscored straight away is that Huron Black and Conkeldurr basically wreck my team. Conkeldurr in particular, I don't have anything that resists everything it can dish out. If it sets up, it can kill everything. And bar some of my bulkier mons, it's going to hit KO pretty much anything else. Huron Black, it was up to that week the leader in the MVP race. Now I believe it's the Mega Charizard Y, which is the Beartix, but the Beartix's team. But yeah. Anyhow, Huron Black was a very big threat. It landed a lot of KOs for him, and basically I couldn't let it. If it was the substitute set, it could set up on a few of my mons, and then I would have to sack something in order to kill it. And if it was the Scarf variant, it was just going to outspeed my counters to it and kill. So with that in mind, I made a list, and this is my opponent's team, but in the order of the likelihood that I believe that my opponent's going to bring in their Pokemon. So first up, all the way up there is the Conkeldurr, for the reasons I explained just a bit earlier. Then right away, we'll find the Huron Black. Megaseptile. Megaseptile is an interesting case, since Megaseptile actually Megaseptile is a great Pokemon against my team. It can deal with the Dragonite provided it sets up rocks. It can kill Rotom Wash. It outspeeds Megalopunny. It can take out Mamoswine on a switch in. It does not live the Ice Shard, however. It can learn Sludge Bomb if you want to have anything to KO the Whimsicott, and since it's a Grass type, it does not fear the Stun Spore. So that would be a pretty interesting bring for that as well. It does decent damage against the Empoleon and learns the Focus Blast. It does not deal with the Venusaur. And it struggles a bit against the Emboar, but it does incredible damage to everything else. And again, it outspeeds everything on my team. So with that in mind, Megaseptile is definitely the third top threat I can see him bring. Granbull is a given. Granbull with the Intimidate can switch in on a lot of my physical threats. And and it's generally a safe bring. Next on my list is the Arcanine. Arcanine a bit for the same reasons as the not the Arcanine, excuse me. It was the Ferrothorn, and Ferrothorn is up there on the list because it just walls everything. It will die to a special fire move, and I've shown that I'm not afraid to run fire on all my team. Basically, when I face the Harrisburg Hydreigons, Ferroseed. So maybe if I'm lucky, I've deterred my opponent from bringing Ferrothorn. Next is the Mew, just purely based on the unpredictability factor of Mew. A Mew can learn basically any moves, any TMs that is, and it's just so versatile that I can't imagine him bring a team without it. Discovering and figuring out what set of Mew, what Mew's set is going to be a big part of the game, I believe. Next we've got the Golbat. It just needs more defensive mons. So that's definitely, like generally speaking, if he doesn't bring Granbull, he's going to be bringing Golbat, I believe. Sigilyph. Sigilyph is sort of a threat. Sigilyph, if it sits up, can deal a ton of damage, but it's very frail. He might have some gimmick or another to he may have planned some gimmick or another to really damage my team, but otherwise I don't think Sigilyph is up there. Then we've got the Arcanine and Gobberdur. Gobberdur is interesting because it learns it has access to the spikes and toxic spikes, which my team only has the Fog, which is suboptimal to get rid of the hazards, as you all know. Since it also removes the hazards on my opponent's field. And I'm going to be needing those rocks to do a ton of damage against his team. Mostly because I want to damage a Kyurem as much as possible and limit his switch-ins. Next we've got the Lantern and Kabutops. These are all the way at the bottom of the list because I've got very solid grass types that he probably thinks I'm going to bring one or the other, and they don't match up really well against them. They can't really do anything against the Odino, and Dragonite and Mamo kind of wreck them. Not even considering the Megalopony. They're really only good against the Empoleon. Lantern could do some work against the Empoleon and the Mamoswine if it's Scarf maybe. But nevertheless, they're not. I really don't picture him bringing them. So moving on to the battle. As we can see, Gentolo brought the Ferrothorn, the Mew, Conkeldurr, Sigilyph, Kyurem Black, and the Granbull. Now, what struck me as odd is that he decided to bring the Sigilyph over what I thought was a very safe bring in the form of the Mega Sceptile. Nevertheless, this isn't necessarily a bad matchup for me. I've got the solid answer in the form of Emboar. And let me go fetch my sets. Play Team Builder versus Bronzong. Now, as we can see here, I brought the Hariyama, 120 HP, 144 attack, and 244 defense. I maximized my defense capabilities and gave enough HP to live a few drain punches from the Conkeldurr. And my plan is basically to KO it back using the Billy Drum Close Combat set. If he doesn't have a defensive Mew, I'll be able to bullet punch it and maybe deter my opponent from using the Will-O-Wisp. He might think I'll be bringing the Guts set. However, I am bringing the Tech-Fat set in order to also take on the Kyurem Black. If my opponent ends up bringing the substitute set, I brought the Infiltrator Choice Specs Whimsicott set with the Moonblast, Giga Drain, Switcheroo, Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire, of course, is to take on the Ferrothorn, in case he brought it, which he did. Queen Pin, Roar, Stealth Rock, Scald, Flash Cannon. I brought Flash Cannon in order to deal with the Grand Bull, Scald in order to deal, and the Kyurem. Scald in order to deal damage against everything else except for the Conkeldurr, since I don't want to risk the Guts set, of course. Sorry about that. Rocks, of course, and Roar are pretty self-explanatory. Roar also allows me to force out the Mew or the Sigilyph if they want to switch to set up, which I figured was pretty neat. Fully specially defensive in order to take on the Kyurem Black, since I'm expecting the special set. So yeah. Next we've got the Venusaur the Venusaur. Fawn, special attacker with a bit of bulk, and you'll notice that my base elite speed Pokemon have all got 52 speed in order to outspeed the Conk if it's max speed. So I've got Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Sleep Powder, Substitute, very straightforward set. Over here, same thing, except I've got the Whatmel Berry Natural Gift with the Fire move in order to take on the Ferrothorn. Earthquake, Ice Shard, Natural Gift, Ice Cycle Crash, maximum attack, 52 speed, 204 HP. I should be able to tank a decent hit from the Kyurem Black as well. And last but not least, our newest addition to the team, since I traded off the Houndoom, is the Embor Bakendorf. Bakendorf has the Expert Belt, Reckless, Flare Blitz, Low Kick, Sucker Punch, and Earthquake. Sucker Punch is very useful priority on this team. Flare Blitz allows me to... Flare Blitz with the Reckless allows me to do tons of damage against my opponent's team. With the Expert Belt, the Low Kick one-hit KOs the Kyurem Black, and in combination with the Sucker Punch allows me to take on pretty much all of my opponent's team. So yeah. Earthquake is also there, basically just for the Arcanine. On the off chance he wants to bring it. So let's see how the battle goes. As I previously said, my opponent brought all the Pokemon that you can see right now. I'm going to go into the battle leading off with the Queen Pin against the Conkeldurr. Now, I wasn't actually expecting the Conkeldurr to lead off the battle. I was expecting something along the lines of Mew or Ferrothorn, since I thought my opponent would prioritize hazards. But I guess he read me fairly well and decided to go straight out into the Conkeldurr. I can't stay in. I'm going to switch out directly into the Venusaur, expecting the Drain Punch. So he goes for the Drain Punch as expected. I'm going to tank that very well. Take some HP back with the Black Sludge, and go straight for the Sleep Powder, which thankfully connects. My opponent is a bit stuck here, so expecting the switch out, I'm going to go into the Ember, expecting not the Sigilyph, but the Ferrothorn. Sigilyph is a very, very scary Pokemon and can one-hit KO the Bakendorf, the Embor. So it's going to switch me out into Empoleon here, as my opponent goes for the Psychic and does very little damage here, and he takes damage from the Life Orb. So what this tells me is that my opponent is not running the Magic Guard, and he is not running the Tintin Lens. So as we'll find out in the chat real soon, my opponent messed up basically and meant to bring the he meant to bring the Magic Guard set. However, he ended up bringing the Wonder Skin ability, which is not going to be very useful for him at all in this match. The Wonder Skin ability, of course, makes it harder for status moves to hit. However, I don't want to status this Pokemon, I want to kill it outright. So, seeing my chance here, I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock, and I'm going to take a big chance here. I'm going to predict my opponent either to... I'm going to take a chance. Either he's going to be sleeping this turn, which I was hoping for, but on the off chance he was going to wake up, I'm predicting him to go for the Ice Punch, predicting the Venusaur switch in. So, regarding that, I decide to do the very cheeky play and go directly for the Roar. And as you can see, he wakes up and goes for the Ice Punch, which does no damage to me. I roar him out into the Granbull, Brothers the Granbull, he intimidates me. And I'm going to go straight for the Flash Cannon and get the very, very good, very, very helpful critical hit. The critical hit definitely mattered. I don't think Flash Cannon would have wanted KO'd otherwise, since I am not invested in special attack. It's a very fortunate crit for me, and that means basically my opponent could not go for what I expect to be the Earthquake. I don't think this hacks is going to matter in the long run, however, and you'll see why in a few seconds. So my opponent's going to send out the Conkeldurr right here, and I'm going to make a very big misprediction. I'm going to expect the Ice Punch again and go for the Roar. However, this time my opponent goes straight for the Drain Punch, and while it barely lives, I've pretty much wasted Queen Pin right here. It's going to go down to the Energy Ball. So that's my first very big misplay, since I really needed this Empoleon to deal with the Pure and Black, and I lost a very big asset in doing this. What is very a cocky play, and it bit me in the ass, clearly. Nevertheless, I'm going to go out into Mammary the Mamoswine here and go for the safe Ice Shard, killing the annoying pet that is Sigilyph. Next, my opponent is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and it was then that I realized how fucked I was. See, Stallbreaker Mew, or that is defensive Mew with the Will-O-Wisp, is a threat that my team does not deal with at all. I did have a countermeasure for it. However, as we can see, I go for the Earthquake, do no damage, and I hit the panic button, go directly into the Whimsicott. However, as we all know, Stallbreaker Mew runs the knockoff, and naturally that's what he's going to go for. So I lose my choice picks, which I planned on tricking onto him. Meaning that Mew basically gets a free pass from here on out, and I've got nothing to deal with it, and I lose my item, and I'm going to go for the Switcheroo, wanting to take his item from him, and it's just the Casted Berry, which is actually not helpful at all. I go for the Giga Drain here, taking back my health, as my opponent is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. It's not going to help very much. I'm going to go for the Moonblast, land a critical hit against the Ferrothorn and do decent damage against it, I guess. But emboldened by the damage of the crit, I'm going to go for the Heavy Power Fire, which is going to do jack shit, as my opponent kills me off with the Iron Head. These are all misplays, by the way. I go into the Mamoswine to land the Natural Gift to the opponent, killing it outright. But this Mamoswine is worth nothing right now, unfortunately. And I'm going to do another bad play here and let the Mamoswine die to the Drain Punch, when it could have done very decent damage against the Pure and Black still. Here, however, I get to go for the Heat Set, go for the Belly Drum, live the Drain Punches, and go for the one-hit KO close combat against the Conkeldurr. So at least that's something that went right. And here I'm going to go for the Bullet Punch, which does the terribly weak 36% damage against the Mew, which is so unfortunate. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb here, do average damage, against the opponent as he soft boils against me continuously. I do land the sleep powder, however, and I'll take this chance to keep going for sludge bombs. My opponent brings in the actually I go for the substitute. Yeah, I went for the substitute, predicting the switch, but it's not going to matter much in the end. I'm just going to go for the sludge bomb here, as my opponent goes for the ice beam, breaking the substitute, and that does not tell me much at all, actually. I still don't know if my opponent is choice scarfed or not, but I'm going to assume he is, since he didn't go for a substitute of his own. My Sludge Bomb is going to crit, and I'm getting very lucky with these crits. So yeah, Sludge Bomb is going to do a ton of damage against my opponent, and here I misplay again, and let the Venusaur die to the Ice Beam, when I really should have switched out into Bakendorf here, but I didn't, and Venusaur is going to die to the critical hit, Ice Beam. I don't think the crit mattered at all. But however, I'm still going to go for the Sucker Punch here, killing off the Pure and Black. And we end up in this awful situation. Mew versus the Emboar. And Mew is asleep, but seeing how sleep tokens have been going off this match, I'm not going to be betting on it. I'm fairly certain that he's going to wake up very soon. And if he has the stab psychic move, he's going to kill me. And as we know, he has the Zen Headbutt. So I'm expecting the W here. However, if I can predict on the correct turn when he's going to go for the attack move, I can outplay him, go for the Expert Bell Sucker Punch and kill. So it's all about me predicting when he goes for the attack and just stalling him out of soft boils, keeping him low with the reckless flare blitzes, trying not to die to my own recoil damage. So he's going to be fast asleep, and I'm going to go for the flare blitz, bringing him down to 21%. So if my opponent sleeps again this turn, I win. But he wakes up and goes for the soft boil. I'm going to go for the flare blitz, bringing him all the way down to 12%. Land the lucky burn, and thankfully KO my opponent's Mew. And there you have it. I win my 4th week battle against the Bielefeld Bronzongs, and it wasn't really it was a lucky break, I'll be honest. I hacked him out there at the end, but it was still 50-50s, and I could argue that since my opponent was trying to stall me out, the hacks was not inevitable, but it was in my favor. Regardless, I'm still sorry for the hacks, Gentle. I got really lucky there. Some people would argue that it's karma, since you hacked out a few opponents before. And, you know, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it and run with it. And that means that I'm running the 4-0 victories in the league right now, putting me clearly ahead of everyone else. I'll be doing the 5th week battle very much in the same way as I did this week. So look forward to that, and I'll be seeing you around. Cheers, guys.